Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Rhul. Look at this guy. We got him back. Darren Mccarty out in Vegas, everywhere, all media, every
around
entity.
The world. I was
around
traveling, doing some things. Great to be back with you, but nice to see the fort held down. But how could I miss this? How could I miss this, Neal? Look at where we are now.
Right now, we are at Matrix Home Solutions. Yes, we are at 41303 Concept Drive. We are in Plymouth, and Matrix is the worldwide leader in basement refinishing, bathrooms, cabinets, etc. We are here on the site right now, and it is. It's like, and D-Mac, it's fitting that we're here because I've actually been kicking around this discussion with the missus, the boss, as I like to say. And I've been, kind of going back and forth with the idea of maybe doing the basement up. When we moved into the estate, that Lord's over.
Had to make sure the furnaces were taken.
Had to make sure that was
first.
all taken care of. But we've been kicking back and forth the idea. So it got me to thinking, since we are here at Matrix Home Solutions, the basement. What's a non-negotiable that the basement has to have?
Well,
if I do this, what has got to be there?
Well, I think there's a starting point, right? And I think as a male, you always have a starting point. Whether it's either A, the bar, right? That's the pivotal point, or the TV, right? Those are
1 and 1A. Like, those are non-negotiables.
For me, I think that's where you base how you view your room. Like, for me, since I don't drink anymore, right, would have more concentrate on
the
how
toys.
Big the screen is to watch, but maybe I'm going to go golf simulator in there. So I'm going to work my way back from the screen. You, though, are going to find out where the bar is going to go, the bourbon shelf, and then you're going to work your way out, have a TV there, more, I would suspect, looking at it that way. So I'm a TV guy out.
Yeah, and people are talking about right now, they're saying that the basement must be partially underground. That is number one, yes. And out in Washington, we have the walkout basement, as it were. We do have that out there.
Already taken care of, check.
Yeah, so we're good there. I mean, for me, and I'm a big TV guy. Recently got a new one for the living room and stuff like that. I'm big on the TV. See, where my wiggle room would be, yes, the bar is a non-negotiable, but here's how I would incorporate it with the missus. And she doesn't watch the show, guys, so we're safe. So we can all have a discussion, and welcome to the people watching on woodwardsports.com. Jump into that chat thread. Give me your ideas, all the stuff that you guys have to say. Sandra says basements must have an elevator. That's a little extra.
Well, I mean, that's in your word. I know you're sitting there going, yes, you get me, but you didn't want to throw that out there. By the way, walkout basements, as we're talking about this, which comes to mind, one of the best basements that I know of is Chris Draper's basement, because it walks out to his hockey rink, but he's got a locker room down there. So all this was thought out. Same guy that redid the old dressing room at LCA or at Joe Louis Arena. Helped with
nice with the design. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Big Play Jay says, I got my basement refinished by Matrix. If Rico, who is the foreman, is there, tell him what up, doe. And by the way, what up, doe, everybody. That is tapping into the show. But here's the game plan for me, and here's how I'm going to work this, because the bar and the TV are the 1 and the 1A, but I got to have some concessions built into my back pocket. Let me bring you inside the world of the art of the deal here.
And this is different, too. And we're specifically, I guess, when I'm coming from the point of view, I'm specifically setting it up for only me and mine. The kids are grown.
Right.
Kids are out. This is for what I need, and that's why the golf simulator is number one. Not a luxury at your place.
I do have the net down there. I do have the net.
Yes,
I can full swing because of the high ceilings.
Hitting into the net is different than putting a full-scale
simulator. No doubt. No doubt. But here's how I think I'm going to attack this. And on the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, somebody in here says, until one of her friends watch this. No, none of her friends watch the show either.
We're safe, guys. Don't
this is
worry
a safe
about
space.
The only thing I would say is that when Mrs. Rhul gets called for jury duty, there might be a paper trail.
You caught the show yesterday,
but again, who knows?
Yeah, but here's how I'm going to do it, right? Because we talked about the bar, and I would have these elaborate plans for a backlit, LED lit bourbon shelf back there to have the good
smoke
stuff.
And mirrors.
But I'm never going to get
smoke
that.
and mirrors.
I'm never going to get that.
You got to throw the smoke and mirrors so she thinks she's dream crushing you when actually she's coming back right into your wheelhouse
and I
you wanted to have.
And D-Mac, I feel like I'm letting the cat out of the bag here because I hate that I'm letting Woodward in on the negotiating strategy here.
But how many males out there are going, Neal, shut the hell up right now? No,
She's never going to see it, guys. She's never going to see it. Yeah. But and I'll concede that later to step up. Somebody said the 88-inch television. Yes. Yes,
well,
absolutely.
Don't you have to figure out, too, are you going to go with the big one and maybe a couple little ones? Or you might have, like you, I would think, would have a 70 and then a couple 50s.
I'm more about that, right? Like, I don't necessarily need the 88-inch. I want like the 55 and then 32s around it, so I can literally watch every game in the world.
Hitting into the golf net versus hitting into the screen.
I just want to watch every game that's on all at once. But we are here live at Matrix Home Solutions, the world's best in terms of basement refinishing. We've already had Big Play Jay talk about it. He got his basement done by Matrix. So absolutely, if you're in that market, which I may be soon, that is something that you certainly have to take a look at. Got a big time show lined up for you guys today. I'm tired of this Lions drafting a quarterback stuff with premium draft capital.
Wait.
I don't know. I keep hearing it everywhere I turn. People at this network, people around town in the media. I had enough, D-Mac. We're setting it. We're squashing that when we come back after I tell you about Planet Fitness. You guys know what it is, the official studio sponsor of Woodward Sports. I work out there pretty much every day of the week, not on the weekends, though. That's when I tune it down a little bit. But hey, you can be a member at Planet Fitness for just $10 a month. The black card option, that's out there as well for you. Basically own Planet Fitness. Unlimited guest privileges, use of all the amenities. You can have access to over 2,000 Planet Fit Night around the world as well. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Woodward Sports loves sports, and we also love to party. Join us for the big super party. Wait, we can't say super. We really can't say come join us at our super party on Sunday, February 12th. From the only place that can handle a Woodward Sports super party, well, our super party will be at Flight Club on Michigan Avenue in Inkster. Join us for a live pregame show and watch party with the crew. Enjoy a halftime buffet, DJs, the Woodward Sports family, and more entertainment. You don't want to miss the big game with Woodward Sports. Get there early. This event will reach capacity. Come celebrate the Lions season and enjoy the final game of the year in style. See you Super Sunday at Flight Club. At least the party will be uncensored.
And the Eagles are so much better than the Eagles.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, live from Matrix Home Solutions. We're on 41303 Concept Drive in Plymouth. Check out their website, matrixhomesolution.com. Cousins Maine Lobster will be in the house later on, so we're doing well over here. Let's just say it like that. Crushing it on a Friday.
I'll bring you some down in jail when I put in your commissary later. Hopefully, do we have an update?
Steven Syret says, did Spencer win yesterday? And I didn't notice... You know, I didn't hear through the media.
Well, I can witness this, but I'm not sure. I'll do a deep dive in it. But we had a big call last night.
Big Woodward Sports all in call.
I did see his face on the call. So did he? He's a team guy, so he might have used his last call from the pokey just to be part of the team. So we'll get an update on how Spencer went. But we miss him. But oh my God, I'm going to eat his portion of the. Don't worry, Spenny. I got you covered today with my lobster main. Roll and Terry too.
Yeah,
absolutely. You got a lot of eating to do today, Neal.
Yeah, that is true. So yes, we assume that Spencer beat the case just in terms of his freedom. We assume that he's out there, but we'll see. We'll see on Monday. So there is that. Don't forget, too, DMAC Grinder back in effect tonight.
Oh, tonight, Freddy's Bar, Clinton Township. Yeah.
Garfield Road, get over there.
Take the stage around 9:30 and, looking forward to it. So that's sort of exciting. Got a couple alumni games, Frozen Fish Fiasco down at Clark Park Coalition on Sunday afternoon. So, busy weekend. But what is this garbage that I'm hearing throughout this narrative? Because here's the one thing. It's like a lingering fart, right? It seriously is. It's like a lingering fart, right? Where somebody like, okay, you know what, passing through, we can ignore it. But it seems that at least at Woodward Sports, it's bringing up a bigger stench that it's got to be addressed.
And I keep seeing it.
Mr. Countable's going to address who farted. Yeah, who's
DMAC
farting this quarterback stuff?
I can't look. I can't take it anymore. All right, I laughed at it at first. Just that's just uninformed people talking about. There's been a groundswell of people, and this isn't some straw man argument, as Sam Flannel likes to use that terminology. Don't create a straw man. These are legitimate people. There are people here at Woodward. You guys can watch the shows and you guys can draw your own conclusions. I'm tired of hearing about how the Lions should use premium draft capital on a quarterback. And I will state my case now. And here we go, everybody. You ready, DMAC? Here it is. If you fancy yourself a division contender / probable division champion, right? We did the polls. People expect the Lions to win the division next year. If you are a division champion, i.e. you get a home playoff game, which means you fancy yourself a contender, at least having a shot at getting to the Super Bowl. And if that is the case, if you believe that, if you believe they are division championship material, then you are not in the business. It is absurd to say that you're going to take a number 6 or a number 18 pick on a quarterback that will not help you for at least 2 years. It's absurd, because you know what you can get at 6 or 18? A player that can put you over the top. For real. This is what we think it is, right? This is what we think it is.
No, and to me, think about his tax season, right? Coming up.
Right.
It's like the tax bracket. Last year, right, or the team that you've had up until this point, because you're telling me this going into this season, was in a different tax bracket. That's why you had the luxury to move up and take a Jameson Williams that isn't a part of your offense immediately.
Listen to what you just... Please say that again for everybody. Please say that again.
You have the luxury of drafting a first rounder or a second rounder in Pasco that doesn't need to play off the bat because your expectations aren't winning your division and you're still building. The difference is you've making more money now as the Detroit Lions. You've moved into a different tax bracket, so it's so much more imperative, like other great teams, that you pick players that help you get over the edge. I think one of the things that we're forgetting, Neal, is the fact that a lot of us, at least I'm going to speak for myself, thinks that the Lions, yes, do they have a chance to win the division next year? Absolutely. Do they have a chance to host a home playoff game? Absolutely. Is this team moving in the right direction? Yes. But that is also with trusting Brad Holmes to make great decisions with the draft picks that he has available to prove that he can get guys from drafts to be starters and players on the roster moving forward. This is a team effort. That all includes what you have here. Your quarterback conversation should be moot and point unless something happens, whatever else that we can't think about, that is like interplanetary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For the final time too, for the people around Woodward that have a first name that is 2 letters of the alphabet, for the final time. All right, stop with your stupid ish on Twitter about, golf was the fourth highest cap hit in the league last year. Aaron Rodgers made $42 million in cash last year. Easy. You know what? I'm going to take this time. You know what? I just made the decision. Here's my question
before you go at this, right?
I have an announcement to make.
If you took a poll from 32 general managers across the NFL, right, where would Jared Goff's contract go into when they're looking at quarterbacks and quarterback contracts that they'd have?
Very desirable.
Would he be in the top 5?
Right. And again, this is so everyone 10. Can understand, and it's all encompassing, right? The bit of the discount to market and price, the escapability. People don't understand that. You can write that thing off and be done with it at any moment you choose. And you know what? I'm going to take this time here. I have a big announcement to make for my future here at Woodward Sports.
I love it.
I'm announcing that I'm stepping down from Big D Energy and resigning my post at Woodward Sports, and I'm going into the mortgage business. And my first client in the mortgage field is going to be Easy. And I'm writing him a 30-year mortgage, and it's going to be 2% interest in the first year. And then the other 29 years, it's going to be 12% interest. Okay? That's how I'm writing his mortgage. Easy will go for it because, hey, it's a discount at the first year, right? At that 2%. It's a low cap number that first year. So I'm going to sign Easy to that mortgage, and I hope that others will follow me with that. And then he can laugh at the people that just got a 5% mortgage for 30 years. He can laugh at it.
So that 30, how much out of that 30-year more that he paid?
No, it doesn't matter. It just matters that his cap hit this year. That's all that matters.
And that's it.
That's
he
it.
He ain't going to worry about what he's going to pay you next year.
No. So there you go.
Bill comes due.
So everybody, good luck in your future endeavors. I enjoyed my time here. You guys are the best. Love y'all. I'm off to greener pastures. Writing mortgages for people like Easy.
But the bottom line is that you have way other positions, especially defensively or whatever, to pick players that we expect with the first round, second round, third rounders come out and be a part of this team that we expect to win the North.
Right. It's foolishness, dude. This whole thing is foolishness. Everything has changed. And again, I go back to it. I understand we're new to this.
Tax brackets changed, right? And we are new to it. You're finally getting that paycheck that you've worked for and deserve. Yeah. So you don't know how to act because you got extra money in your bank account. Yeah. What are you going to do? I mean, it's burning a hole in your pocket.
We're new money. Right? As far as the NFL goes, Lions fans, we're new money right now. All right? I understand that. But guys, come on. Everybody take a breath here. And if this team is as good as you think it's going to be, then you're not in the business of acting reckless with draft capital and taking quarterbacks that can't help you for 2 years. If you're a division champion, then you fancy yourself as having a shot at the Super Bowl. And you're not giving draft picks away, man, because that 6 pick that you waste on a quarterback or that 18 pick you waste on a quarterback could be the guy, literally the guy that sets you apart.
So here's the thing. All you have to do is sit back and go, well, my GM, do I trust that he's on the page that I'm on? Like, as far as is that what I see? And in Brad Holmes, you trust whatever he's going to choose. If he did pick a quarterback, right, Neal? You'd still have to go and listen to his explanation of why he did it, because I would think a reason. Even if I thought it wasn't the right play, it's the person making the decision. But I don't think that now's the time, because what you accomplished especially at the second half of last season, is set yourself up to. We're talking we're talking like legit division title because of the expectations that we have. So start acting like that, and you need players to do that.
And that's exactly what it is, D-Mac. Like, it's tough. Everybody, wrap your heads around this with where we're at right now with this football team. Stop thinking like it's a Lions from 6 years ago. Stop thinking like that. Think, how do I get this team over the top? Because yesterday, and Joyko always used to say this, yesterday's prices are not today's prices.
Boom, bang.
And that's what it is right now for this Lions team. So please stop with this. And I'm not addressing it anymore. We're done with it. We're done with this quarterback talk. We're done with cap hit percentage and all that kind of stuff. You got a quarterback that produces more than he cost. He did. I don't care what you say. You can say anything that you want to say. He produced more than what he cost in relevance to the market. So he's your guy. And you got him for 2 more years. It costs you nothing to get out of it. We got about a minute left of me talking about this, and then I'm done. I'm not talking about it again.
Well, or he should be. And then when it's time to address the quarterback situation, because I say it all the time, Brad Holmes came out and said, I'm going to find a veteran backup or find the right backup. We're not going to be in the position we were last year. But
and even that, I'm tired of hearing that too. When your quarterback goes out, you're cooked. You're cooked anyway. You just are, man. Like, that's the way that it goes.
Right.
Like, everybody freaks out about this. Draft a backup quarterback. You can't be
contingency planning. You don't have the luxury to worry about what your backups are going to do. You got to get starters to be able to win you games.
That's it,
and
man.
Your quarterback is already in place at great value, right?
And just stop with the pipe dreams, too. My guy Nolan Bianchi from the Detroit News is down at the Senior Bowl. Wrote a story for the Detroit News. Every late round quarterback is struggling, to say the least. Even Max Duggan, who lit your Michigan Wolverines up, Sam Flannel. Even Max Duggan is struggling down there. You see what I'm saying? And that's my favorite. The people are like, well, take a guy in the 6th round. He can be your back. No.
Especially not here with the guy that's proven that he can pick late round talent that can play and produce.
I want Brad Holmes to have as many darts as he can to throw at the bullseye.
There it is.
Because he has proven he can deliver. You can have the English guy announcing it, triple 20, bullseye. You know that English dart broadcast they have?
Absolutely.
That's what Brad Holmes is.
140.
Yeah. Hey, so that's it. I'm done. You guys can do what you want. I'm done. I'm done with Woodward because I'm going to write mortgages for a living, and Easy's my first client. So
you're going to retire after one client?
After one client. I'm going to sign this mortgage, and then I'm done. Adam, I'm sorry, brother. You ready to step in?
Well, in the bag business,
Here, I'll switch out with Adam. You tell him about Alta, and we'll move on.
It's all about what matters. That Alta uptime matters. Alta equipment has everything you need to get the job done right. The weather, it's been changing outside. You might have some yard work. You got a bog project coming up. Alta Rent, they got you covered. Give them a call today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
As chilly weather approaches, Big Boy's got the perfect comfort meals for you. Try our hearty classic meatloaf or our creamy Cajun chicken Alfredo. These will be sure to leave you craving for more. How about breakfast? Our stuffed potato pancakes are back with our lumberjack, blockbuster, and Santa Fe Garden. These potato pancakes will definitely fill you up. Whether it's for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, come stock up on the perfect comfort meal today. We'll see you soon at Big Boy.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the 3 biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Just tell them about the mystery beer vending.
Yeah, just tell them about the beer. They're $2 and $4.
They're $2 mystery beer machine and a full bar. Yes, absolutely. Okay, and if you want to go visit them, go to the Foley Warehouse. Check them out at FoleyWarehouse.com.
What was that? Big D Energy.
That was awesome.
Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. We are live at Matrix Home Solutions. Opening part of the show, I talked about it. I may be in the business, in the marketplace to look at a basement refinishing as well. It's exciting to be here. We're down here right now. You see the kind of quality work that they put out. We had some Big Play Jay in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread said he had his basement done by Matrix Home Solutions.
Yeah, he gave flowers to Rico. So Rico gets flowers around here. So the boys at the Matrix make sure that he got shot out, so that's always important. I mean,
absolutely. CJ Schneider says veteran backups are a waste. I agree with you. Brandon Katz, Neal doesn't understand that the NFC North and NFC were historically weak this year, and the NFC would be much stronger moving forward. Goff will never win-ish in the NFC in an offense that is built around him. Brandon, all I can do is go by what happened last year. That's all I can do.
And isn't this the window this year, the season, because of where the money is, where the money is with the Bears, where the division is? This is your window with this quarterback to win this division. I disagree with you, Brandon.
Well, here's the deal,
Goff
too.
has everything.
And again, I will forgive. I will forgive, D-Mac, because we're new money, as we said. We're new money as football fans here. You don't have to worry about the rest of the NFC. You win your we got to work backwards from this, guys. You win your division, you host playoff game. You win playoff game, you're into the next round.
You know what it is, Neal? Where it gets back to? Why don't you act like you've been here before? I know you can't, but that's a sort of a saying, I guess, that's been used around, is that when you put yourself in these new exciting positions, but act like you've been there before, like you deserve to be there. It's the attitude of like not hoping, wishing. It's sort of like this is the new norm.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what you want to develop. But if you take care of your own business, which you should be able to, because what's ahead, because the way that you've drafted, the players that you have on your roster, the young guys that have produced, the track record, you have something to build here. So it's building it as a team, and we knew that around. And what we said it all along with Goff is the guy right now for this team, and he's proven that. And you want to take the keys away from him after what he did last year, which, like, what do you want from the guy? Who are you going to plug in there that's going to make that better? There's what, 4 guys, 5 guys, maybe?
And Easy had to chime in. He produced more than he cost, but he didn't. LOL. Okay, let me play the easy part. Like I said, Aaron Rodgers made $42 million in cash last year, despite the low cap hit, because the bonus was stretched out. Josh Allen last year made $47 million in cash, despite the fact he was a $16 million cap hit. The contract signed easy. But, okay, whatever. Jake Wegener says, I'm not addressing it anymore. What Neal says before talking about a topic for another few weeks. Tigers, the quarterback from Kentucky, candy corn. No, that is not true. I have never said the quarterback from Kentucky's name since the day I said I wasn't going to say it again. That's factual.
No, that is factual.
No,
we dropped Lil Levis. But,
the Booner Sports Show at 6 and 18 would be crazy, but getting a guy late in the draft, I wouldn't hate that. See, I would rather get James Houston later in the draft.
Proving
but that's just me.
Proving that you can find those guys.
Yeah.
Those are the things that next level.
Why can't? And again, no disrespect. Booner's a very valued member.
Act like you've been there before, because we haven't, and it's exciting. And so it's sort of like Christmas morning. You get all excited with all these presents. Which one are you going to rip open first? And you end up ripping all of them open, and you don't enjoy opening one of them instead of taking your time.
Right. Exactly. And Dad with Tourette says, where are you getting these numbers, dude? And I assume he's talking to Easy. His cap hit is 11th highest among 2023 quarterbacks. That's without Lamar Jackson signing. That makes his play and a number top 5 quarterback. And yes, that's my point. That's where it is. Like, people are talking about last year like it matters. This is the time now. And D-Mac, it goes back to what you said. You could afford to step to the crap table and roll the Jamison Williams dice.
Yeah, the Pascal, all that stuff, because you were not in a position. But what you did is you set yourself up now that you can't make those plays.
Yeah,
now.
absolutely.
You don't have that luxury, or else you're going to miss your window.
Yeah, so there it is. Some other Lions news. We talked about Dre Bly being named the cornerbacks coach.
Love it.
Yeah, I know. And there's been a lot of talk about it. My only concern, and I heard this around town yesterday, it was my initial thought process, too, was it didn't work out very well for him at North Carolina under Mac Brown. It did. Yeah, but that is different. That's college.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's the one thing in the vortex. Former players. You get former players around former players. How many former players are guys that he played at the highest level against or with or around with respect? It brings a different dog to the fight. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but there's obviously they saw something to give it an opportunity. I love the fact that I was a fan of Dre Bly when he played. So I like the fact that it goes into the whole ex-coaches as assistant coaches and everything else around. So I like the move. And then, like you said, because if it doesn't work out, what's Dan Campbell proven that he'd do? He'll make the hard decision.
Yeah, we'll move on.
So it's not like, oh my God, I got this guy here and then we'll never get rid of him. It's just sort of going to be, hanging on like a fungus, right? No.
Yeah. And you know what, D-Mac? That showed me a lot about Dan Campbell. And you can spin that if you want to say, yeah, I mean, that's kind of your first layer. Because you know how this stuff works, right, in the coaching world and professional sports. If you're a coach, the first step is when things aren't going well, you have to gas somebody. There's got to be a pound of flesh.
Well, it doesn't matter
we talk about
long as you're, and people can say it doesn't matter if you use the term scapegoat or whoever, but it doesn't matter as long as the decision that you make, right, changes things. Both times in both seasons that Dan Campbell's been the head coach, right, he's got rid of his one offensive coordinator, made the change, and it made a difference. Last year, he got rid of his quarterbacks coach, and it made a difference.
Right.
So he's making the right decisions and putting the team first. That's why if none of these guys work out, they've proven to me, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, that they're willing to move on from it. And they've also shown me that, hey, when they break down a situation, they address it, they're diagnosing the right problem. They're not doing something to create two other problems. They're plugging that hole right there and moving forward and having progress from there.
And for me, D-Mac, it showed me something about him, because my number one problem with coaches in today's day and age, you see this a little more in college than you do in the pros, but whatever, it's the ego, right? You've always heard me talk about the ego of I was right with these choices. Sometimes, man, and whether it's because you're feeling the pressure and you got to make the move, or because you think the move is what's necessary, either way, he made the move.
Right.
And you can still talk if you want to question his in-game management and stuff like that. Like, if that's your reservation, I can't kill you on that. That's fine. But where he passed the first test for me was when he got rid of a guy he brought in, because coaches never want to do that, but he did it.
Right.
That shows a lot.
So is that the one thing, like you said that, because in order to be successful, I think that what I've run across is that the people are that are most successful in this world are extremely confident in their ability, to the point of where it may seem cocky or arrogant to some, but it's not, because there's a humbleness to it, and admit when they are wrong. The best leaders are be able to diagnose, okay, yeah, I messed up. Now I'm going to change that, and aren't afraid to get behind it. Doesn't look as a weakness. It's actually a strength.
Yeah. One thing Brandon Katz and I do agree on here today, the Bears will be strong moving forward. They will be better next year. They won't be second in the division, though. And we've talked about this a lot.
I'm not worried about them next year as much as I am in 2 years.
Yeah.
That's the whole division. It's not like the window for next year, I think, is that the storm sort of cleared and it's set up for you with every resource that you have, what you've built to this point, the trajectory that you have been headed on, especially the end of the season. This is the season, because Chicago can't regroup, even though they have a lot of money in this next year, but they'll be there in 2 years. We're going to fight them, I suspect, more for the division championships in the next 5 years than we will against Minnesota or Green Bay.
But D-Mac, I will say this. It's something where I'm gonna pull up the lines real quick for the division next year, because I will say that the Bears, they don't just have a lot of money, they have an obscene amount of money in relation to the rest.
16 more million, don't they have like 140 or something, or 130?
Yeah, I mean, like it's
they're
absolutely crazy.
in a place where they can make a big deal, but Neal, they're not going to all change over in 1 year. It's going to take a couple years to put things in motion, isn't it?
No, or depending on how they make it rain in the club. You know what I'm saying? They could go home with somebody.
Here's the dangerous thing, right? Here's the caveat, because Chicago is sitting with the first pick overall right now, which you would expect with all the resources and stuff, because they have their quarterback, and the quarterback high is that they're going to, in the Neal Rhul world, they're going to move that back and make that into boom, 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 more assets, more players, right?
Right.
That's what I'm interested to see, is how they come out of the draft with what they do with the first overall pick, and how that helps move their team forward. I don't think that they're going to be there or as good, but you're going to see the signs of it building to what they want to be next year. And then it's in the year after. But hopefully we can take this year to get our wheels rolling, and then it'll be harder for them to catch up.
Yeah, absolutely. But we do have D-Mac back. I am going to get into the second hour of the show, the Dylan Larkin discussion. We need to circle back and see where we're at, because I like what I'm seeing. I really like what I'm seeing and like what I'm hearing.
Cool.
There's a hard line in the sand.
I don't know.
There seems to be a hard line in the sand, D-Mac, and I'm here for it.
So here's the whole thing. Look at the history of the guy you're talking about and how he's dealt with all his top players in the past. And I'm talking about Steve Eisman, what he's done with Stamkos, Kucherov, Edman, all his guys in Tampa. Yes, it's not supposed to be easy, right? You didn't want Kenny Holland giving away money to whatever else.
Unless it was you.
What?
Unless it was you he was giving the money away to. Then I supported Kenny Holland.
Compensated. Yeah. I appreciate that.
If it were you, that's different.
But here's the thing. When it comes down to the bigger picture at the end of the day, it's the guy in charge. So
yeah, and we will discuss. We have an NFL nickel package as well. Lots of stuff to get to, and we are live here at Matrix Home Solutions. Let me tell you about the Sports Marketing Agency. They help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast is called This is the S Word. It's a series about the stigma that's attached with seeking help for mental things that you might be going through. If you're struggling or someone you know struggling, go to thesportsma.com, the Sports Marketing Agency. They're here to help.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren Mccarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Neal Rhul here for Bedrock Detroit in downtown Detroit's all decked out all winter long with the return of the Cadillac Lodge and the Monroe Street Midway. You know what it is. The Midway has a giant slide, winter bumper cars, and an indoor arcade for the kids, both big kids and small kids. Plus, you can grab drinks for the adults. Adults? Adults. Adults. When you're talking about drinking, it's adults. But you can grab drinks at the Lodge before or after Red Wings and Pistons games downtown. Shop, eat, and play downtown all winter long at the Monroe Street Midway and the Cadillac Lodge. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com for more information. Back at it here. We are live at Matrix Home Solutions, 41303 Concept Drive. We are in Plymouth. It's like a toy store for basements and cabinets, you know, for the wives. Come on by. Take a look at the cabinets they got going.
We're sitting right here amongst some of the bathroom, the showers.
Tom Mazaway may be broadcasting from inside one of these showers. We have to tune into the bottom line. They'll have all the technical difficulties.
The Maz booth.
Yeah, they'll have all the technical difficulties ironed out. You bet your ass the bottom line will be on at 1 o'clock today. Come hell or high water.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. If they wanted to be on at 1,
well, they can come on at 12:30 if they want. They'll push us right out of here.
They'll be right from here.
They'll be like, hey, we got everything settled, so, you know, we don't need you guys anymore.
Well, they're working with those new 8 camera angles and all
Absolutely.
that stuff.
No, but happy to have you guys all along. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Jump into that. Mike G says, Neal, Plymouth, that's my hood. I like it. I like it. But I did also want to talk about this, and we were talking about the Lions, and Spenny kind of dropped it on the show sheet here. He was able to work from jail, a lot like Pablo Escobar or somebody like that. Like, that's the kind of treatment that he's getting in the clink. But he did drop this on the show sheet, and I think it's important. And I'm glad you're here today, D-Mac, because something I notice, you know, and I have the good fortune to be down at, you know, a few Red Wings games a year, and I see you operate in the crowd. And I see, like, the
Mayor of Hockeytown?
Mayor of Hockeytown, man. Flat out. The people's champion. What about the Lions' relationship with Calvin Johnson? You think it's important for the Lions to kind of repair that? And I'm on board with that. And here's why. And again, this relates to you. I see the people's faces when you come around and you're engaging and you talk to them, and you know you do the veteran you award the veteran of the game the jersey and everything like that. I see the impact that you have, and I know it's you are the people's champion for real. It's just, I think that the Lions are missing an opportunity with Calvin in kind of that same capacity. And Calvin's very accessible, dude. He's around town. You see him all the time.
I do.
This is his home, man.
We join ventures.
You're in the same circles, yes. Depending on what kind of circles those are. But do you think it's important?
Smoke ring circle.
I think the Lions are missing an opportunity.
Well, here's the thing. And I think we've seen this with Barry over the years, and this all comes from the top, from the organization. And it doesn't matter what your name is, as it's the appreciation to feel it. I think we've seen Barry be around more, and we've seen that relationship has gotten better, and his interaction and being a part and everything else. So I think the most important thing is that it's organic and it's natural and it's not forced. I think that we always play, hey, Lions fans, the Sheila,
right.
When people booed, if you don't think Sheila heard, she heard, and how much, and even where Calvin was there. So I think what I've seen from the outside, I think they're working on it. I think that will get there sooner than later, but that's because the organization and the ownership from the top has changed. All we want as former players, whatever, is that I see you. It's that you don't want anything other than appreciate the effort and the time. And sometimes when you don't feel that for what you've put your body, your mind, your soul, your life, your personal life, your family life, a lot of different things that have gone into it. And you think, just like everybody else, when you don't sort of feel appreciated or something, and we're talking about guys that are Hall of Famers, guys that put people in the seats that got, you know what I mean, at the highest of level, that you would think that the common sense is to make it easy to make them want to be around. You look at all the different organizations throughout sports and how they use, a lot of their retired guys and their veteran guys, the guys that are in the Hall of Fame. So I think that you're getting there. It's the same thing as I think if you march Sheila out, she'd get a big cheer, because people see it's organic and it's real. And I think we're going to get there. And I think you're right. Because when I see a Barry Sanders and I see a Calvin Johnson,
it changes the physiology in the stadium.
Engaged, right? It tells me that things are different. It tells me that we're all in it together. And that's sort of all I want. The luxury of being retired and having the stats and being around there is that now, and I love it. I absolutely love it because it's who I am, right? But the fact is that I know where I was for all the moments that you cheered me on and the highlights that we see, but I don't know where you were. So for that few moments there, when you want to tell me that we have a connection, to me, that's my way of being able to let everybody know that we are more similar than we are apart, and find that compassion. I think Calvin along those lines, and especially with the Detroit sports teams, it's that sort of appreciation. So I think they're working towards it. I think that it came from the top, but it's, to me, it's almost like that feral, if you've ever had a feral barn cat or an animal, that does its own thing, but then you can get it to come up and actually make friends with it, right? That animal's being there because it wants to, not because anybody made it, paid it, did anything like that. So to me, to see Calvin around more, and I think they're working towards it, but yeah, because if I see him involved and cheering and getting behind everything else, man, that makes me feel even more, because of the history that I have with Calvin and all those highs and lows and whatever that we went through. Now we share it together now, right? That's the whole thing is what we're trying to do, or what I'm trying to do, is to build everybody else to what's coming in a few years down at LCA.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Doug Fungus, and I vibe with this comment a lot. Fords finally took 50% off of their egos. And that I believe to be the truth. I 100% do believe that. I don't get that same feeling.
But is it ego?
Of aloofness.
Like, I never thought that
is
they
it
had
ego or
aloofness.
Yeah.
It was more of I don't care. What I've seen is like 50% more of, oh, I pay attention, or I care, or actually, if somebody says, oh, you make me feel bad, in the Fords and responses, I heard you say that I'm making you feel bad, instead of, hey, you make me feel bad. And then the Fords would always hear, yeah, it's all perfect out here, sunshiny days, right? So now it's their self-awareness. Maybe not ego, maybe the Ford family's self-awareness, led by Sheila, right, is more at the forefront now.
Yeah, and it is. And that is something that certainly seems to be different. So I am for that. And I would be intrigued to see if they ran her out there, during the first half.
Run her out there early.
Yeah, you got.
Oh, you got it.
You got to take advantage.
Mom. Right, first game, whatever, something.
Don't go the Byron Leftwich route.
But I also think that the fans, like me as a fan, I want to show her that appreciation because she's earned it in the same sort of way, right? So the same thing I was talking about is them showing Calvin appreciation and something like that, which has changed. Because I think a lot of times us as former players, sometimes we get a little, what do you call it? Chafed ass.
Yeah.
We get a little chafed ass. I get hey, listen, I have my moments, right? But in the whole scheme of thing, at the end of the day, if it's supposed to be the culture that we expect it to be. Now, I can speak on the one at LCA because, yes, implementing back of what we had back in the 90s, right? Because the guy in charge back then is in charge now, and Steve Yzerman. Can't speak as much to it, but it's just what I feel and what I see as a fan.
Yeah, and it is. It's just something that kind of popped in my head, because I watch you operate. And
it's almost like that's like as everything we're talking about getting everything. We're talking about the North Division Championship, hosting a playoff game, right? Having Calvin in the building.
Let's line it all up, man.
This is all about this is all about roses and smelling good and everything. Put things in the positive direction.
Yeah, and I don't know about. I don't know about all this. Like Brandon Katz says, Calvin is irrelevant in Detroit. He won nothing and had no personality. I mean,
see, that's where you're wrong. That's cool, Brandon, but you don't understand. See, these are the little, when people want to say, what's the difference in building championships? It's a slight little thing like this. And I mean, I can't, unless you're a part of it or whatever, but yeah, it does mean something because he means that to you, Brandon, but not to everybody else.
Right.
So that's your opinion. So that's
because to me, we're the regard that I hold him in.
Say the same thing about Barry Sanders and the same thing about Calvin Johnson, same thing about Barry Sanders.
No, I mean, Barry was 60 minutes from the Super Bowl at one time, but regardless, for me, I associate him with one of the best to ever do it, and did it as a Detroit Lion his entire career.
Right, and his entire so to you, to me,
it means a lot.
That means something.
It means more than Matt Stafford means to me.
He didn't go else places, so that to us circumvents the winning or not.
And right. Look, Brandon, if that's the way you feel, that's the way you feel.
Absolutely.
But to me, he is one of the best to ever do it. Did it for the Detroit Lions his entire career.
The fan base of the Lions, right, are in our camp more than they're in Brandon's camp.
Sure, absolutely.
Because of that. Hall of Fame, gold jacket, played his whole career. Which is the same thing about Barry. Barry and Calvin, there's a lot of comparables.
No, there certainly is. Let's tell them about Lady Jane's. We're going to get to our NFL nickel package as well. There's we got a basketball fast break, and then obviously I wanted to talk about the hockey situation with Darren Mccarty. Get him caught up because he was away doing big things. Getting a haircut was one of them, probably.
No, that'll be actually today before the show, but you know where I'm going, and you can go too. We can come to Lady Jane's for award-winning haircut experience, register for once in a lifetime. Opportunity to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. I said $200K. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Woodward Sports loves sports, and we also love to party. Join us for the big super party. Wait, we can't say super. We really can't say come join us at our super party on Sunday, February 12th from the only place that can handle a Woodward Sports super party. Well, our super party will be at Flight Club on Michigan Avenue in Inkster. Join us for a live pregame show and watch party with the crew. Enjoy a halftime buffet. DJs, the Woodward Sports family, and more entertainment. You don't want to miss the big game with Woodward Sports. Get there early. This event will reach capacity. Come celebrate the Lions season and enjoy the final game of the year in style. See you Super Sunday at Flight Club. At least the party will be uncensored.
And the Eagles are so much better than the Eagles.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Hey, it's Sean Jordan from the Sports Marketing Agency, and SMA wouldn't be who we are without our amazing partners.
Thank you so much, Sean. You know, at Detroit Wayne, we want to serve as a resource for you and your families. We offer mental health services, substance use disorder services throughout our communities, and we want to be that source and resource within the community.
If you or a loved one are suffering from a mental health or substance abuse issue, please don't hesitate to call 1-800-241-4949.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Matrix Home Solutions is your go-to for any home project. Looking for a new man cave? They are the basement remodel experts. They also specialize in bathrooms and kitchens. We are live here all day today. Big D Energy and Armani Edwards all the way until 5 o'clock, so come see us. And they also have an A+ rating by the Better Business Bureau. Call 888-594-8844 or go to matrixhomesolutions.com.
Back out of here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, live from Matrix Home Solutions. We are in Plymouth, 41303 Concept Drive. Go to matrixhomesolutions.com. Check out the work. I mean, you guys can see A+ material here, everything like that. I'm going to be in the market for the basement refinish, remodel as well. I'll be talking to the people here, no doubt about it. Getting a lot of chat thread, social media stuff. People send in before and after pictures of their basement. Absolute fire. So, again, if you're thinking about pulling the trigger on it, go for it. These guys are the best in the game. Factual. So, Neal Rhul, Darren Mccarty back from his sabbatical out there in Vegas doing some big things. Looking forward to hearing some of the details coming up as they become available. D-Mac, you ready for an NFL nickel package?
Oh, I can't wait. Is this a Sam Flannel production?
It is a Sam Flannel production. So why do you love Patrick Mahomes? That's the all 5 downs.
Hey, you know what? This is a Super Bowl and the legacy-defining aspect of it edition of the nickel package. So, question number 1. If the Chiefs win the Super Bowl and Travis Kelce balls out, has a Super Bowl MVP type level of performance, is he a top 10 receiver in NFL history already as a tight end?
I mean, your gut reaction wants to say no, right? Because he's a tight end.
Yes.
But then you go back through the annals, and you remember, like you're old enough to remember Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp, he was a tight end, but he was a wide receiver.
Well, Tony Gonzalez.
Tony Gonzalez was going to be the next one I transitioned to. He was a tight end, but he was a wide receiver. Gronk was another thing, too. I think that Travis Kelce jumps up into that. I think he's in that era already where he has graduated from being a tight end. And I know, like, he's big, and I know his style's really physical and stuff like that. He's a weapon. I know schematically, we were talking about this when we were out in Vegas hanging out watching the playoffs. He's always open. Always. Like that. Always. And he gets, I understand he gets schemed open, and a lot of his routes go against the grain, that the way that the offense is moving, and it always works. But make no mistake, he is a weapon.
No, absolutely. My first reaction is yes, because he's a game changer. They specifically, right, when they need a play, like that's Patrick Mahomes' number one, right, security blanket. Always has been, whatever else. I think that the biggest thing is when you watch Neal, and that's the point, is how open he is. Bigger than other guys at the tight end position. I think now a lot of the times, like the tight end position is more of like that, you know, it's the flex guy, right? It's the flex, but it's where they line up. So the tight end is who's the guy that lines up at the tight end position more than it is the tight end. But he's as good of a hybrid as we've seen.
Yeah.
And always making the big play. Who do you always see on the highlights? You know, catching it, doing a mean mug at the camera when they needed a play. So yes, like what kind of performance is that, Sam? Because I think he's already there. I don't think this is like.
I would agree with that.
Right? I think that he's one of those guys, and if you're going to rank him, but you're going to put him up with the Shannon Sharps and the Gonzaleses and the Gronks. So.
Yeah, and when you look at it too, I mean, he's already over 10,000 yards receiving. Like it's stupid when you look back at it.
It's almost like, he's a tight end. I thought he was like the receiver.
Man, he's 33 now, huh?
Yep.
Wow.
And he's by all objective measures, the second greatest receiver in postseason history after Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice has all the records and everything that matters. Travis Kelce is already second and counting.
Yeah, I mean, they have the benefit of playing more playoff games.
Here's the question. Yeah. If Patrick Mahomes didn't have Travis Kelce, what Patrick Mahomes would
he would just levitate to the next tight end, and he would just single-handedly make whatever other tight end they have that great,
He's
too.
supposed to say that, not you.
Noah Gray?
Noah Gray.
He's already good.
Noah Gray all day. Sam Flannel would have a T-shirt. All right, second down.
All right, so speaking of the Kansas City Chiefs, if Andy Reid gets a second Super Bowl as a head coach, is he a top 10 NFL coach of all time?
Yes. And you know what? I would even put him in the rarefied air where I think he's in that discussion, that top 10, even if they don't. Because this man is an offensive savant.
Yep.
And the plays, could you imagine him, could you imagine sitting on a flight with Andy Reid and he's got the cocktail napkin and a pen, and he's just going to work with it. The intricacies, how he goes against the grain.
Said it when we're talking about Kelce, is look at the plays that are drawn up that are so different than everybody else, because they even use their tight end, right, which isn't supposed to be the valuable offensive asset, running plays you've never seen against the grain. You can't. They have athletes there. I think that what makes Andy Reid. I mean, he wins the positions he puts his athletic players into is to capitalize. What makes a great coach? Who can get the most out of all their players? And I think that Andy Reid, especially on the offense, sucks every ounce of offensive ability out of his players. And we get the luxury of watching.
Yeah, and it's where, too, you look at what he's done. Ethan Brown says, no, he would just draw a mustache on you. That is a pretty funny commercial. That is a pretty funny commercial that they do
but
have
he's gonna get to the bottom
going on. But he will get to the bottom of it. That fourth down play they did against the Browns with Chad Henne at quarterback, where they got Tyreek Hill, the 3-yard pass completion on 4th and 1. Was wizardry.
But does that not, because you said that was their backup, Chad Henne, who
4th and 1, and they threw a pass.
That's what I'm saying. So the trust in the system, and obviously, that goes to show it. So, how do you defend that? That's what Philly's going to try to figure out.
You don't, and everybody's talking about it too. And we have many examples. Pete Smith says that play where they danced like an Armenian wedding party and then threw a touchdown pass was hilarious.
Yeah. That was a little douchey, and I'm a Kansas City Chiefs guy, but that was a little douchey.
Nah, that was cool.
Yes,
that was cool. Third down.
Third down. Okay, this is more of a Lions-centric one. Which Philadelphia Eagle playing in the Super Bowl will end up making the Hall of Fame? Ndamukong Suh, Darius Slay, or both?
I think Suh should. It's tougher for the defensive tackles, especially the ones that don't rack up like gaudy sack numbers and things like that. Ask people who played football.
Yeah.
And as I go back to it, D-Mac, I don't think you were here. I was talking to one of the Lions' former trainers, athletic trainers. When Ndamukong Suh was a rookie, they had to stop practice and switch drills because he was killing people so bad that he was grabbing offensive linemen and tossing them across the line of scrimmage. And they said, all right, we got to chill. We got to switch the drills. A rookie. That's how dominant this guy was. I hope he does get in, because to me, he is a Hall of Fame player. Darius Slay is a non-negotiable. He's going in the Hall of Fame. There's no doubt about that. Yep. But Ndamukong Suh, man, that cat was. And I'm a bit of a Suh simp. I freely admit that. But you talk to people that were around the game; they'll tell you.
No, I think that more so that, would you say Suh needs this other title, because then he'd have a couple. Well, then he'd have 3, right? Need the higher gun now?
Yeah, pretty much.
Right?
Yeah.
So with everything else, it goes to where he was drafted, goes to his career. I think he needs it more to solidify what you're saying. I agree, Darius Slay, this would just put the caveat to what a career
that is true.
Had.
You give him a 3rd Super Bowl, and it's 3 Super Bowls,
gun
first
for
team
hire
All-Pro.
goes back, if you're talking about best of the best, but...
And some people in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread don't share my sentiment for Suh, but I do. That to me, I go back to the Max Scherzer thing about the
He's not a
Tigers.
team guy. He's an individual guy.
No.
He's a gun for hire. He's a mercenary. So
He's a professional.
That's what you
He's a professional.
That's what you're dealing with.
Yeah, that's a professional.
But he does his job to the best
And
of
the
his
people
ability.
around the Lions camp even said that. They're like, hey, it's kind of a deke a little bit.
A deke?
But when the game starts, you don't want any piece of what he's offering.
No.
And we saw Trent Williams change his tune right quick.
I don't understand the whole Sue shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame sentiment, because the thing about Ndamukong Suh is he walked right into the NFL as a rookie and was the best defensive tackle in the league from then until the moment Aaron Donald came on. No question about it.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%.
Yes. All right, so 4th down. We're going to go to the Eagles right now. If Jalen Hurts wins a Super Bowl MVP, is his gold jacket loading?
I think it's a little aggressive given the nature of the way he plays the game, and we're already seeing it, right? Like reported collarbone issues and things like that. It's a little aggressive, but he's tracking that way. And D-Mac, easy's into taking victory laps, so I'll take one. Who was the original Jalen Hurts guy?
Yeah, no, I'm a firm believer where I would always say, okay, I need to see more. You're the one, you being such a fanatic for him, or maybe not fanatics, but seeing that there was something there.
Yeah.
You saw it early. It kept me on board to give him more of a chance, right? Like I was like, I don't see it, Neal. I don't see, now I see. But here's the whole thing too, right? I think that with him it's tricky because, again, when you go to the numbers and the stats and stuff like this, they don't have that numbers. But winning, yes. Eyeball test, you're talking about emotion of what we see. But statistically, no, because I still think there's question, and we saw in some of those throws and the deep balls and whatever.
Like he's banged up.
He's banged
You
up.
could tell.
Now, does this put him closer to being there? Yes, but he's got a long ways to go because he's still a young guy.
Yeah, absolutely. But he's trending that way. Make no mistake. Like I think some people owe him some apologies.
That's
there was a lot of Jalen Hurts slander out there.
Well, it's the same thing. It's like who gets more apologies, Goff or Hurts?
Yeah, the same folks probably.
I think we can all agree his pathway to the Hall of Fame starts with a Super Bowl MVP, because
No
I don't
doubt.
know if he'll get in on his stats alone, although he did have an MVP caliber season. Speaking of MVP caliber seasons, the rightful MVP this year, Patrick Mahomes, if he gets a second Super Bowl MVP to go along with 2 regular season MVPs, right here, right now, after the Super Bowl, is Patrick Mahomes a top 5 quarterback in NFL history?
I knew this was coming.
Of course.
I absolutely knew it was. But
let me start.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here's the whole thing: is what you say all the time around here is, "What have you done for me lately? What have you done for me lately? Why are you?" He separates himself from the ever that Aaron Rodgers. He buys himself more time, propels himself. Yes, Flannel. I will say that he absolutely puts himself in that conversation right off the rip for getting that second Super Bowl. Right? Like there's something to it. This is almost like the expectations. This is how good he is that the first one doesn't really count. We need you to prove it again, or else you're just another Aaron Rodgers. Because we want to take him out of the Aaron Rodgers, right? But there's something there that just can't get back to the big one, can't get back to the big one.
And that's an angle, and I don't know if I created this or not, but that is an angle of this Super Bowl that I think people are just sleeping on. Like, I know everybody's like getting caught up in the Kelsey brothers and they want his mom to flip the coin and all that kind of stupid crap like that. But the bottom line is nobody in this game next weekend has more on the line in terms of their legacy than Patrick Mahomes. And it's an either-or proposition, Sam Flannel. It's going one way or the other.
To your earlier question about Andy Reid, right? I think you can put those two in the same sort of category because I think it's just propels, right? Kansas City wins, then there's no argument about, Andy Reid's this great offense. He can get there. He can't get it done.
100%.
Right? And Patrick Mahomes, the same thing. I think that, to be fair, right, they get it done, especially now and this time, is that it buys so much more time, but you got to almost, like, all those arguments that we want to bring up aren't there for them anymore.
No, they go away.
We're talking about different levels, different tax brackets, moving into uncomfortable territory for the Detroit Lions. You haven't been there before. I think that's where Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid would go with a win.
Yeah, but the flip side of that coin, And it'll be Mahomes more than Reed. It'll be Mahomes more than Reed.
Yes.
Oh, they had to, because of his contract, they had to get rid of Tyreek Hill.
You're right.
And that's what ended up costing them and things like that. And Sam Flannel, I'm not saying it's right, but that'll be the narrative.
I'm starting to come around to your train of thinking a little bit more, because I think win or lose, Patrick Mahomes is still going to be looked at as the best quarterback in the NFL. But if he wins, we're talking about GOAT trajectory. We're talking about maybe top 5 right now. So
like best of a generation.
Oh, absolutely. Right now. After 5 years, that's unheard of, and he can get those waters.
If he loses,
then the GOAT talk is tempered for now. He's still the best in the game today, though.
No doubt. But the conversations, the questions get asked. That's why I love the Super Bowl, man. Oh, man. Your legacies are on the. Hey, you want that smoke, legacies Sam Flannel?
On the line.
This is it, man. Like this is why it's great, and no one's talking about that. You heard it here first on Big D Energy. Just like you heard about Cintron. Cintron World's an aspirational lifestyle beverage brand with a line of sparkling flavored energy beverages and premium bottled water. Cintron is fashionable, functional, and fun if you want premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and a non-negotiable great taste. Cintron is your top choice. So you know what? Why wait? Go online to drinkcintron.com. About that Amazon Prime life, jump on Amazon. You can order Cintron on Amazon as well. Drink it, live it with Cintron.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
What's a winter wonderland if you can't shop, eat, and play? Lucky for you, you can do it all at the Downtown Detroit Markets, Cadillac Lodge, and the new winter version of the Monroe Street Midway, all located just across the street from Campus Martius Park. Find the fun at deckedoutdetroit.com.
Woodward Sports. Missed part of the show today? Watch again on YouTube or download the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Neal Rhul here for Custom Health Centers. Get your customized approach to weight loss. Think of all the ways that weight affects your health, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. Custom Health Centers help many professional athletes lose weight and improve their health. People like Detroit Lion great Eddie Murray, Pistons bad boy NBA champion Rick Mahorn. They have over 20,000 success stories. You can be the next one, like our guy Kyle on the screen here. It's very simple to do. Call Dr. Jason at Custom Health, 844-789-8446. Again, as Chris Jericho would say, 844-789-THIN. It's Custom Health Centers. Neal Rhul here for the Monroe Street Midway Minute. You guys know what's on and popping downtown. Bring the kids on down. You can hang out outside. It's a little chilly today, but that's no problem. Even today, you can slide down there. They have the heated tents. You can get yourself, I don't know, an old-fashioned, some bourbon, something like that, in the comfort of the heated tent. They also have the Midway Arcade, the Arctic slide for the kids, all that stuff. But the moral of the story is you get to hang out downtown. And look, we've been clamoring for this stuff for a long time in the city of Detroit. I travel a lot during the winter. I see all these things going on. Detroit has stepped their game up downtown, and they're doing it too. So hang out downtown. Shop, eat, and play downtown. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com for more information. Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network live from Matrix Home Solutions, the best in the game. Basement remodeling, bathroom remodeling, all of it. You got something you want done, you've been sitting around thinking about doing it, now is the time. Go to matrixhomesolutions.com. We are live at 41303 Concept Drive. We're in Plymouth. Neal Rhul, Darren Mccarty, Sam Flannel. We got JB Smoove on the ones and twos. I don't know if Spencer's on a work release program after his big court date yesterday. Who knows? All I know is we're here right now. And, we did our NFL nickel package. We're going to get to the Red Wings coming up in just a little bit. Let's knock out the fast break. We got to keep it on the court. Just give the quick court update. Stay with us here, and then we'll get to the Red Wings next segment. What do we got?
All right, so question number 1. Can Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey bring a championship to Detroit?
Yes, because Jalen Duren's on the team too.
Oh, you're kind of a simp for Duren.
He is approaching Brad Holmes status for me.
Really?
He really. Sam Flannel, this dude he's a 20 and 15 guy loading, and the beauty of it is you don't have to run a ton of plays for him to get 20.
No, I don't hate it. I like Jalen Duren too, but
I would say that if that is the case, it would be more Duren than possibly Ivy. Because you have to take into account how the ping pong ball is going to bounce.
I don't hate it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That the yes is the answer because of the Jalen Duren dynamic, D-Mac. And look, there's still work to be done. There's still ping pong balls to pull. And you're going to need a break like you are.
Well, here's the one thing with this team, right? Are you putting the pieces together and do you have something for the future? Because the thing when it comes down to the Pistons that I always think back is our good friend Terry Foster. Fine young man, by the way. Fine young man. Is you got to let this East Division regurgitate the Bostons and the Milwaukees and all these, the Jonases and the Tatums and all these top stars to get through. So your window, when you understand that, isn't like we're talking about the Lions next year making a surge or the Red Wings in 3 years. Being there, stuff like that. This is a little bit bigger window, but yes, with the age of the guys, the development, it's only going to get better. Why do I say that? Because I've seen this development of this specific player moving forward, but then, I get it, there's injuries and stuff like this, but in the long term, you got to expect that if they get them out of the way earlier in their career, they'll be healthier later. But again, it's a longer-term process.
Yeah, and remember, too, with this Pistons team, and I know everybody's upset with the way it's going right now, there is $20 million in dead cap on the books right now. You're still paying Kemba Walker. You're still paying DeAndre Jordan. Remember the DeAndre Jordan era? That was the price.
So you're not even there yet. You're like next year's.
See, when you shine that light on it, Demon, I see that light go off in your head right there.
Well, you shine the money lights, bro, and and then it makes sense. Okay, so we're still working through the weeds, right? The yard ain't even finished yet. We're still whacking the weeds down.
Well, and the thing is, right, we like Jalen Duren, right? I see Pistons fan 11 on here. Duren deserves simpage. He's real at 19. Imagine him at 24. Well, the price of that was taking Kemba Walker on the books for $9 million this year. That's what it took to get him here.
And I guess that's, so again, bigger picture, wow, Troy Weaver knew what he was doing here. And it's because, what does it hurt you the season that you're having? No, as long as you're progressing with the development of some of your youth, right, moving the money around the books, you're not competing anyways.
Pistons fan 11 says, I wanted a step this year, but no Cade kind of excuses it. And that's where I am, too. It's a lost year.
Think about what happens if the bingo ball falls our way one more time and you get that number 1 pick.
Yep.
Then it's a different conversation.
Yep, and Dirty Dr. D says Jalen Duren greater than John Stockton. Yes, I agree. All right, second minute.
All right, so this one's a doozy by Spencer Raxter, but it's interesting. Can the Sacramento Kings of all teams actually contend for the West?
I keep waiting for that, right? And I see it, and I'm the Sacramento Kings, man.
Yep.
It's the Kings, bro.
Eventually, weren't De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis going to figure it out? That's a pretty damn good 1-2 punch, I say.
No, but it's still the Kings, right? At some point, they still have their names under their numbers on their jerseys.
Kings got a king, right? Aren't they?
Yeah, at some point, but there they are, man. They're in first place in the division, up on the Clippers, up on the Suns, up on the Warriors. But no, the Kings are going to king. You said it best. They are the Purdue of the NBA, and at some point, they will return to form.
Turn to form. I agree.
There you go. All right.
Until they prove that something has legitimately changed.
Keegan Murray's been playing well. I'll give him that.
Yes, he has.
He has. All right, but question number 3. I think this is one that you will be particularly interested in, Neal Rhul. Who would you take in a must-win game, Joel Embiid or Nikola Jokic?
You know what answer you're going to get here.
I do.
The man that wears a Jokic jersey to the beach. That's how I operate. The man that is a unicorn in the man that was mocked and scorned in relation to Data Davis. And here we are, 2 MVPs later.
Yep.
Here's Nikola Jokic again. And I know that everybody wants to run that game about Embiid, and Embiid, showed up and showed out against him and things like that. Cool. Whatever. Give me Jokic. Give me a center that can run a team. It's unheard of, D-Mac. I'm compromised, though. I admit that.
No, you are a little bit compromised. I think Embiid's sort of coming into his own. It's sort of like, to me, it was the Jokic. It's like the one time, and it didn't really matter, right? You're the consistency of Jokic every night. Still Embiid, injury, or he's showing more consistency this year. I'll agree with that. He's becoming the player, more the leader for that Philly team. But still, you can't beat the Joker.
No, Apollo, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. I believe in the Kings. I ain't hating. They have 3-point shooters, an initiator, and Fox who's showing up. I believe in the Kings more than the Lakers.
I think if Anthony Davis can stay healthy and LeBron James plays at a high level, I would actually believe in the Lakers.
I've never heard that one before.
He played, 2020, the bubble
I just can't wait. I can't wait for the jean shorts and the tennis shoes to go into the Hall of Fame for Data Davis.
The Hall of Fame, though, which he will be in, by the way. All of you people in the chat, he will be in the Hall of Fame.
And instead of a jersey, they'll have his sleeveless sweatshirt and his jorts and his his white shoes.
Hey, he'll get to bring that title that he was a Robin for, a legit Robin.
All right, next one.
Question number 4. How many games better does a healthy Cade Cunningham make the Pistons?
Real quick, WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Pistons fan 11. If Anthony Davis can stay healthy, drink, you would be an alcoholic.
I guess that's good.
If every time you said that you had to take a drink, you wouldn't be able to function in your life.
He gets dinged up a lot.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
All right, so how many games better does a healthy Cade Cunningham make the Detroit Pistons?
8 to 10. Because
he
can
that
guard.
Much? He still can't play defense.
He can guard though. He's the one that can guard,
so
and he's versatile in the way he can guard. 1 through 3.
You think it's 8 to 10 though?
8 to 10. Yes, I honestly believe that.
I would have said
take a number 1 overall pick off any team, and tell me where you're at.
I was saying
take
more
Giannis off the box.
Deficiencies in the rest of the team than it is him. I don't think he can make that big of a difference in this year.
I think he would tremendously help the defense. Tremendously. Now, would they still be bottom third of the league defensively? Yes, but they wouldn't be the worst. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to say half of those. 6 games.
6 games?
Ooh.
All right, whatever.
You know what? I'll tell you what. Before the year, I predicted Cade Cunningham to be an all-star, and I don't think I was that crazy in predicting that, and he's basically missed the whole year. So, yeah, the Pistons are definitely going to suffer. I don't know if I expected it to be this bad, but still, it's a complete and
utter
loss.
Take the jinx off.
Yeah. Real quick, WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Jake Wegener says that much alcohol would kill an elephant, by the way. So there's
but
that.
Not our Spencer.
But not
We're
Spencer.
Not give him that one.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 5. Who would you rather have on your team, Donovan Mitchell or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander?
I'm Team SGA in that. And look, I was proponent of the Donovan Mitchell trade when he became available. Mm-hmm. I said he instantly takes you to a level, much like where the Cavs have gone to.
Sure.
I think if you had Mitchell here, you're instantly a playoff team. Now, granted, we didn't know Cade Cunningham got hurt and all that kind of stuff, but especially with Jalen Duren, I would definitely like the chair. I'm not the Donovan Mitchell hater that a lot of people are, but SGA is special, bro. Yep. He's turned Oklahoma City.
Sort of like solidified SGA, sort of coming into his own that this is the player that he is more this year. Like, I mean,
yes.
The information we had on him, right, at the time of the Donovan Mitchell trade or whatever, you bring this question up, it's a no-brainer. It's probably Mitchell. But right now, with what we've seen, I think you're right. And SGA.
Yeah, SGA is a star. But Oklahoma City's like good, by the way, now.
Hey, and when Chet Holmgren comes back, I'll tell you what. I think I'm kind of a simp for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander because I would take him as well. He's having a better season this year than any season Donovan Mitchell has had, and he's 6'6". Donovan Mitchell is going to hurt because he's a little small.
And he's $30 million.
Ooh.
Not 42 or 45 or whatever. Like Russell Westbrook's getting 40+. Let that sink in.
Watch out for OKC next year.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what a dominant force is in the lunch game, though, Sam Flannel?
Oh, obviously it's
You know what we're doing today?
Well, Cousins Made Lobster is actually coming here to Matrix because they have the best lobster in town. It's a food truck going all around Metro Detroit. They have lobster rolls, lobster tacos, lobster grilled cheese, everything you could possibly want. It's the best lobster I have ever tasted in my entire life, and I'm not just saying that. If you want to check their schedule, see where they will be around your area, go to cousinsmainlobster.com.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
And a miraculous catch.
Follow us everywhere. Just search Woodward Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and more.
Oh, D-Mac's back. Must be Guardian Alarm. Obviously, customized solutions from real experts, professional technicians that take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. So I need you to call the number 1-800.
Stay out.
24/7 professional monitoring anytime, day or night. You call, know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as it's needed. But I need you to call the number. That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Technology backed by people for safety, security, deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care, no matter if it's personal or business, just like Sam Flannel. We're not sure if it's personal or business, but Flannel protects you for how many straight days, kid?
206.
Oh, I missed a few. 206 straight days of Flannel protection. If you want protection on your stuff just like that, you can have it. But I need you to call Guardian Alarm today. 1-800.
Stay out. Stay out of the NFL, Tom Brady.
And he's gone. Guardian Alarm, local security experts. Tell him Big D Energy, we sent you.
Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Rhul, Darren McCarty. We got Sam Flannel. We got JB Smooth on the ones and twos as well. Rest of the Woodward squad up here. Good to have everybody in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread as well. We are live at Matrix Home Solutions, 41303 Concept Drive in Plymouth. You can visit them on the web, matrixhomesolutions.com. Bump by their website. Take a look at some of the work they do. It's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive to be here, too, live in Plymouth. But, D-Mac, you were gone for a while, so, you know, we gotta update you with the whole Dylan Larkin situation. I know you've been away for a minute, but so it seems to be this. And I'm kind of
trade deadline in a month.
Trade deadline in a month. Okay, that's great that you brought that up. There's your baseline. Trade deadline in a month. Check. The word on the street is where they stand right now. And again, I haven't held counsel with Steve Yzerman as of late.
The word on the street.
The word on the street is
where. So you're saying in this camp and this camp, which word on the street does nothing for me. But I'll play
the game.
I'll play your game.
We got to be on till 1, D-Mac. Come on, give me something here.
I'll give you
but
something.
Here we go.
Just because I've been away and I forgot to bring you back something. Oh, I brought you a deck of cards back from.
Did you? All right, cool.
From Vegas.
So the contract situation right now with Larkin, word on the street is the sides are about $1 million a year apart. Larkin's in the $9 million a year camp. Yzerman seems to be in the $8 million a year camp, which you earlier this year, it's been your constant 8 at 8. That was your deal.
Well, I think I said 8.5. I mean, I think the 8.5
8
at 8. What it doesn't matter. Here's right. So okay, so continue. So Steve wants Dylan. We're hearing out of the Larkin camp that he wants 8 years. Like we've solidified term is
8 years.
Both 8 years. He wants 9. Stevie wants 8.
Right.
Okay, so there's a difference of $1 million a year.
Absolutely. Now it's interesting to
$8
know
million over the contract.
Yes, it's interesting to note that Dylan Larkin, who was at the All-Star game this weekend down in South Florida, he said it. He said, "I see myself as a Red Wing." Though those were his words. I see myself as a Red Wing, which was interesting to me because I feel like you lose leverage when you make a statement like that.
No, why you? Oh, okay. So the kid that grew up here, that was born here, that everything else we're just going to automatically come down to it that he does. This isn't where he wants.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I'm sure he does.
No, but he's different than any other. I'd have to go through every other roster to see who's playing at home and being whatever. But don't. Why are we acting new that this kid isn't the second coming? Right? Or has supposedly been. So, of course he does. And he wants to do. But in saying that, he's got to obviously look out for himself. And if this comes down to it, right, where it's a piss, at the end of the day, Stevie's got to do what's best. And I don't want it. I want Dylan Larkin locked up for whatever it takes as your number 2 centerman, what he means to this organization, what he means in leadership, what he means to everything else. This is Darren Mccarty talking. But if that's not the case and it's about something else and they can't figure it out, then I want him as a person to go somewhere else. And then what is our contingency plan? So Stevie's had to obviously move along. Right. I've always thought they're going to get it done. This is sort of the way Stevie does contracts. If you've watched him do it in the past with the Stamkoses and the Kucherovs in Tampa Bay, it sort of comes down to the 11th hour, 11:59. Before it gets done, because he's going to weigh out every option. Now, here's the whole thing, too. Oh, my gosh, did anybody think that maybe there's trade talks going on that hasn't Larkin involved in trade talks right now? Because if there's any leverage that both places have to whatever it's in this last month. So, again, you can keep asking questions and people, to my opinion, but we really won't know for the next month. Both guys, we don't see their whole cards. The poker game, if you're watching on TV, it's easy to play when you know what the guy has. We're not seeing what either one has. I don't think that hurts Larkin at all, because I think that's absolutely 100% on top of his mind is to get it done here. And I think that they will get it done here. But the bottom line, Neal, when all this is, we're talking about $8 million, right?
Right.
Money guy, right?
Which to be fair,
is the cap. So my question is if I'm off and this person is the integral part of me moving forward, then I'm thinking Darren Mccarty is, okay, where am I going to make up this other money? I want to pay him 8, but I got to get him 9. Is the salary cap going to go up over the next few years? Is there money in there? Is there other guys that I can resign that, maybe I wanted to spend the $4 million on the Sherratt or the $4.5 million on the Perron, but I can only spend $4 million on this guy because I'm going to take half. I don't know. But the bottom line is I trust Steve Yzerman. I want Dylan Larkin to be my captain to raise the cup for the next time, which I believe is 4 or 5 years. I want him to be the one to raise the cup, and we're all wondering who's he going to hand it to first, right? I want that. But in the reality of business and whatever else, and this is a professional hockey league, that these are the questions coming down to a month left before the trade deadline, that Larkin's put himself in the best possible position by not having an extension and waiting. This is what free agency is all about. Right. And Steve Yzerman has waited and done everything else because there's other questions to go on. So if you don't think that Stevie's sitting there and exercising every option to whatever else, I think, to me, if I believe that they're both trying to do everything to get it done, right? But you'd be stupid. You'd be stupid to not think that there's not conversations and phone calls. I'm not worried about Larkin. I'm more worried about Bertuzzi. I think that as we get closer, and this is just me talking, I don't know anything other than when I go ask my questions and try to get a vibe, is I think there's more, if you're going to give a poll, I think there's more of a case of Tyler Bertuzzi not being here at the trade deadline than it is Dylan Larkin.
It's just, again, for me, D-Mac, because we worked through the numbers, right? And we did a kind of a deep dive in the centers and where they're at and stuff like that. And I know, like, people were talking in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread about where I was before with Larkin, because I'm not quite the believer that everybody else is in terms of a 1C.
He's not a 1C.
He's not a 1C.
So I'm not even talking. I'm paying, yes. Darren Mccarty is going to take his money, and he's going to pay his 2C $9 million a year. Yes.
You are.
That's
yes.
what I'm doing.
And look, if he and ultimately if Stevie Y ends up going for that and does that, then obviously who am I to question?
That's why it'll be
him and I will have drinks. Yeah,
there.
him and I will still have drinks at LCA, and we'll still lord over everybody. And he'll seek my counsel on salary cap matters. That won't change.
But he's going to tell you how he circumvented it. So
Absolutely,
he'll
make me feel better about it, and that's fine. No, but seriously though, here's the deal. I like this. Even if it ends up going the $9 million route, I'm not gonna pound the table or anything about it, because as we looked at centers and the pay, it's going to continue to escalate like everything else. My only point in all this is I love the fact that it's not Ken Holland pulling the strings, because we know what would have happened. He'd have signed him for $11 million a year for a 10-year deal, and then we'd end up having to pay him the same way that we're paying, Franz Nielsen 3 years after he retires and stuff like that. That's my only point is this. I trust everything he does implicitly, 100%, and he's not going to do anything stupid. He's going to draw a hard line. That's all I was asking for.
There's no frivolousness in this.
No.
That's save for all me and all this. Like he's the responsible. And at the end of the day, whether it's a decision you agree or you don't agree with, he's thought it out. And here's the thing. He can tell you exactly why he did it. And where, whatever, you're saving money on the back end of this contract, that, or whatever else. Because he's got a big picture, I think.
Absolutely.
Right? Big picture. And it'll be interesting, too, to see if the salary cap does go up, right, over the next few years. So I think it all evens out in the wash. I think they're close. Are they, even though the number's off by $8 million, but the fact that with a month left, and if we're hearing that they're this is closer than it is further away, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what
I. So I think
they're going to hammer this out,
right?
So the truth is in the middle somewhere.
Yeah.
With like any other negotiation, they're going to hammer it out, and I'll be fine with it, and then we can move along. But the moral of the story is they still will have the cap space to go get the 1C and the draft capital and all of that as well. And yes, it'll come at the cost of Bertuzzi. They're not both going to be back. I do believe that. We have heard nothing about Tyler Bertuzzi. Nothing.
Oh.
So, ... Trade deadline's next month, man.
One more month.
I'm just saying, man, that's what it is. And I'm just saying, wintertime in Detroit is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. Try the classic meatloaf, the Cajun chicken Alfredo. What about breakfast? The stuffed potato pancakes. They're back. The Lumberjack, the Santa Fe Garden, or the Blockbuster. Stop by your local Big Boy today.
Woodward Sports loves sports, and we also love to party. Join us for the big super party. Wait, we can't say super. We really can't say come join us at our super party on Sunday, February 12th from the only place that can handle a Woodward Sports super party. Well, our super party will be at Flight Club on Michigan Avenue in Inkster. Join us for a live pregame show and watch party with the crew. Enjoy a halftime buffet, DJs, the Woodward Sports family, and more entertainment. You don't want to miss the big game with Woodward Sports. Get there early. This event will reach capacity. Come celebrate the Lions season and enjoy the final game of the year in style. See you Super Sunday at Flight Club. At least the party will be uncensored.
And the Eagles are so much better than the Eagles.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome. Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Neal Rhul here for Chili Peppers Tanning, where you find the cleanest salons in the D, spotless sanitized rooms, and trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club. Get all the best deals. They'll beat the competitors' prices by at least $5. Don't forget to pick up the Australian Gold, Designer Skin, Caltan, and Swedish Beauty lotions. 27 locations, more on the way. Go to chilipepperstanning.com. Find out which one works best for you. It's Chili Peppers Tanning, the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans. They are your vitamin D headquarters. It's Chili Peppers Tanning. Back at it here. We are live at Matrix Home Solutions. We're at 41303 Concept Drive in Plymouth. Their website, matrixhomesolutions.com. You want to see some top quality work, jump on their website and take a look. And right now, here in Plymouth, we're joined by Nate, the Vice President of Matrix Home Solutions. Nate, number one, appreciate your time. Number two, appreciate you having us out here. And it's good to be out here. How you doing?
Guys, this is awesome.
Absolutely. Well, Nate, I want to jump into it because I was talking about it in the open, and we've had people on our chat thread, we've had people on social media send us before and after pictures, and a lot of people, come to find out, have gotten some work done on their basements through Matrix. Super Bowl this weekend. I need to know this as a guy who might be in the market for this. What's the craziest stuff that people are doing right now with their basements? What's the fashionable thing?
The fashionable thing or the craziest? Because the craziest, both. I think the craziest thing is we just did one in Chicago with like a champagne wall of Ace of Spades on the whole thing and all decked out in cubby holes with lighting and everything like that. So that was pretty crazy. I think that's probably a $50,000 wall that we built out for somebody. You know, that was kind of cool.
That is pretty crazy. I'm not going to lie to you.
These greens with the actuators on them, like Tiger Woods has in his house, where it'll put a line on there for the break and things like that. That's pretty crazy. It's pretty wild to do. That's pretty cool.
He's speaking your language right there. He's speaking your language.
Find the room. I know when I get the next big spot there is that we'll have to put it in. But how about my question would be is to understand, you know, what you guys could do. There's really nothing that you guys can't do as far as really putting down there. I see that, you know, sitting behind you have the Tom Mazaway booth or the shower. right
shower
behind
room.
you. You'll see Maz
Tom
bottom line in
He'll
there.
be here later today, yeah.
But about putting like fully furnished, you know, living room, the bars and all this stuff, to the fact, like Neal said, big countertop guys and stuff like this. What are some of the things that people like realize when they get talking to you guys? Oh, I can have that. Or I can have that, you know, like the fact, what are some of the things that Matrix is introducing to some of the people that want to get all this great stuff?
Yeah, I think the bars and kitchen are a huge thing. I mean, obviously the basement is a huge living space. A lot of people don't realize it, but you can almost double the size of your home by doing your basement. And so you can add a huge kitchen. A lot of times we're building kitchens and basements and living rooms, and people are using those spaces more than they're using their upstairs of their home. Especially people that have walkout basements, things like that go out to the backyard. So the bars and kitchens, the flooring. I think a lot of the custom built-in work that we do is really popular, so that people can decorate and organize around those TV spaces. I heard you guys mention earlier about some of your dreams for the basement and having multiple TVs. We've done a lot of those setups. We've done one that has 9, I believe, on the wall. So you want to talk about watching multiple games at one time or multiple events, getting up that. And again, this thing had built-in with LED lights behind it, which is pretty cool.
The lighting's big now, right? Like the LED lighting, that's the in vogue thing, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I think having a lot of accent lighting under cabinets, over cabinets, behind glass doors, having lift riser theaters with the lighting on the edges, so when the room's dark, you can see as you're moving around, things like that are big. And it just, sometimes those are the simple things you can do to make the basement pop when people walk in, you know? It's just the lighting and some of those simple niches in the wall that show the signed pucks by Darren McCarty or the footballs by Braylon Edwards, things like that, you know, showing off their memorabilia can really make a basement pop.
I'm talking with Nate here. He is the Vice President of Matrix Home Solutions. We are live at their facility in Plymouth. You can see behind us a sample of the work, the cabinetry, everything that they do. And Nate, I think, said it very, very well. you take that basement where you just store boxes and you make it part of your house, a livable part of your house. If man caves, whatever you want to do, if the kids are getting on your nerves, slide on downstairs, turn the game on right there, reset, and then go back up and deal with it. Nate, I'm just being real. Like,
yeah, we always say that the basement should be the extension of the first floor of your home, right? There's always a connotation where basements 20, 30, 40 years ago, that was the basement where the teenagers went, knocked up the walls, and it was a mess down there. But now we really want to, match your doors that you have upstairs, match your cabinets and countertops that you have upstairs, so that when you walk in there, you feel like it's an extension of the home.
Yeah, and again, kind of going back to it, Nate, what is the main thing that people are doing right now with the basements? Is it they're getting ready for their Super Bowl parties? They just had Matrix out. They wrapped everything up. What's the main thing that you guys are seeing?
Yeah, I think obviously the theater areas are big, although we're not doing closed-off theater areas anymore. We're making that theater area as a part of the main space. There were years where people would kind of isolate that theater with the big screen, and then it was separated from the bar area. So we really want to incorporate the bar, the theater with the raised seating, kind of all into one open big space, so that as they're watching the Super Bowl and doing those things, the ladies might be over at the bar talking and hanging out while the men are sitting on the couch or the chairs on the risers watching that big screen, and then the whole group can be together at one time.
Woodwardsports.com chat thread, Southpaw Slab says, I need Matrix for real. I have a 2-story unfinished shed in my backyard that I need to do something with. You guys up for that challenge?
That's unique, but yeah, let's call us. Let's talk about that. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, go to matrixhomesolutions.com. We are live at the facility here in Plymouth. What's some of the stuff you guys do that maybe we're missing out on talking about right now? I know the basement's a big thing.
Yeah, I would say my biggest thing. We love talking about these grand basements with the Tiger Woods green, things like that. But I'd say what our main customer is somebody that needs 500, 600, 700 square feet of extra space, a bathroom down there, maybe an extra bedroom for when grandma and grandpa come and visit. So a lot of our average homeowners just need a simple space, for the kids to go down to. And it doesn't sound that sexy when you talk about that, but that is our main customer. And those are people that need the extra space, and we can certainly help out with and have a lot of financing options that can really make it comfortable and affordable for those customers as well too. With the interest rates going up on the secured side, we do offer a lot of unsecured financing that your average homeowner can build out a great basement. You don't need to have a ton of cash on hand to do it. We can make it comfortable and affordable for them.
Absolutely. Well, Nate, again, just want to say thank you for your time. But thanks to everybody out here. You guys see the premium quality, everything that they do here as well. But again, thanks for having us out here. And you guys, we got the Cousins Maine lobster truck out there in the parking lot too. So
come get some food.
Yeah, roll up here and talk some. I'm going to reach out to you guys. I want to take a look at what's going on.
Okay.
I think that's it's a great point, because as years go by, Neal, and the kids get older and stuff like this, and from going from the upstairs to finish something downstairs and be able to put in, like you said, it's great to have the dreams of the extravagant, the golf, the Tiger Woods, but hey, you need a bathroom down there. Maybe you need an extra, because you can make that small area space into taking double, triple, right?
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
That 700 square foot space feels like 2,000 when it's finished.
It really does, yeah. It does.
It's awesome.
Hey, here's another one for you here, Nate. The DLine.com on the Woodwardsports.com chat thread. Went to Matrix website and the man cave remodel slap. That's a good terminology that the youth like to use.
I'll have to get
so
into
goated
that.
on the sticks.
Slaps.
Those are good terms.
If we want to keep it that way, they're goated on the sticks.
All
Matrix
right,
Home
goated
Solutions. Nate, appreciate your time, my friend.
All right,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you so much. We're wrapping up here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Sam Flannel, tell them about Swiss, man.
Yes. Of course, I can't talk about ham and Swiss sandwiches. I got to talk about Swiss Insurance. Be sure to check with Swiss Insurance this week for your commercial insurance review. Many businesses choose a January 1st effective date. Swiss can help make sure you have the proper coverage. Swiss Insurance, give us a shot and you won't be disappointed. Email them at mark@swissins.com. That is mark@swissins.com.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
By now you know me, Christina Schnari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. We're live at Matrix Home Solutions, 41303 Concept Drive in Plymouth. We're here. They get everything ironed out. Then the bottom line comes on. Armani and Edwards with Mass, the final word, whatever you want to call it. They're here from 2 to 4.
What did I tell you, kid? By the time you're done here, moving on to bigger and better things in the NBA, I'll have you grind line mentality of nothing will affect you.
Nothing.
No matter what.
Absolutely not.
You already have that Teflon. Your Teflon Don-ish.
Yeah. Big shout out to Lindsey Hunter, too, for filling in for D-Mac for the week. He did a great job. Minimally mixed it up with Sam Flannel. Sam Flannel didn't even really...
See, Lindsey's a bit... He is used to all that. He's more of a veteran. I get a little bit more caught in emotion than Lindsey does. He'll just sit there and shake his head, though. But again... You know, he's a big one. Lindsey's big on factual, too. You bring him the facts, he'll let you know.
Todd Sane says about Matrix, don't need extravagant, I need functional. Well, there you go. Matrix Home Solutions. We just heard from Nate, the vice president. They can do that for you as well. You know, it was interesting, though. Sam Flannel over the week, only legend killed one person, and it was Juwan Howard, the head basketball coach at Michigan.
Oh, well, look at that. Why wouldn't you do that if you're such a Michigan fan a long time ago that maybe they go in Northwestern and win like they did yesterday in a game they probably didn't deserve to win?
Hey, what did I also say?
They deserved, actually,
they
in the
deserved
past. They deserved to win yesterday.
Yes.
What I'm saying is that why are you holding back on Juwan to not motivate him like that? So obviously Juwan Howard, Sam Flannel's giving you the motivation. Way to go.
I mean, I don't think he's delivered.
What do you care about your school?
I do. I don't think he's delivered so far, but I did say at the end, Neal, and you can mark me on this, that if Juwan Howard can lead this team to maybe a 6-4, 7-3 Big Ten finish, I'll be back on board, especially if it's 7-3. I gave you the pathway. Win all your home games, 5 of them, go 2-3 on the road. They're off to a damn good start. That was the best they looked all year last night.
Well, I told you, though, I can already see how this is going to play out. I knew they were going to win that game yesterday. They're going to get in the tournament, man.
I mean, they're too talented not to. And obviously, Kobe Buffkin played his most complete game as a Wolverine last night. Hunter Dickinson played well. Jet Howard, not so much. But it was just a good team win. And I'm starting to see some things out of Doug McDaniel that I like, too. The young freshman is growing up before our eyes. We might have a point guard.
Look at him.
We're back, baby.
Might have a point guard.
Hey, I'm going to buy. He's already bought in.
Yeah.
He's sort of sauced
Did you hear
up
him,
last
too? I loved
night.
it, too. He's
no
like,
wonder his camera wasn't on during the meeting because he was so lathered up. Gosh, darn. Did you change your opinion on Juwan?
Yeah, he's back, right?
Yeah,
he's
he's
back
back.
as a
Look at
coach.
him.
I don't know if I'm
He's
back.
got a point guard now. They're back.
They got to do a little bit more, but they're on the road to being back. That's
how quickly life moves.
It is how quickly life moves.
Yeah, I know. I love this guy.
Goalpost.
Steven Syret says Juwan's just trying to avoid the Big Ben take from Sam Flannel. Are you taking credit for that win because of the call out? And because people don't want to be associated.
Sam, just like a Smith. You're not taking any crap. But you know what? If somebody wants to acknowledge you, you'll be like, yeah, maybe I said it.
That's for others to say.
Factual timing is timing, Neal.
Yeah. Well, Rack's a noted Michigan fan. Michigan was not that good last night. Northwestern was 3-19 from 3 and shot 37% from the floor.
Shut down D, Rack. Shut down D in their heads.
He says, let's pump the brakes. And look, Rack, to give your comment some validity, you already had the Michigan fans jumping up into quad one win. That's a quad one win, their first of the year. A win over Northwestern, I don't care what the math says. This is the one time where I don't care what the math says. Beating Northwestern, a 15-7 Northwestern team, is not a, quote, quad one win.
You know what? But
this year it is.
No, it's not.
This year.
No, it's not.
I keep getting
told. They didn't have one. They got to go somewhere.
I keep getting told that Boo Buie is an all Big Ten level player. He didn't look like one last night. Michigan shut him down, put the clamps on him. I'm taking a I don't care that Northwestern shot poorly last night. They did. It was a disaster. But on the road, Michigan has to take advantage of those type of performances because winning on the road is hard. Unless if it's like Minnesota or Nebraska or someone like that. Winning on the road is hard. And Northwestern factually had a winning record in the Big Ten. So I think it was a big win.
Factually.
Factually.
It's quad one win, right? Big win. Big
Quad
win for
one.
Michigan. They are back. They got a point guard. Jawan, lifetime extension, right?
No.
Sam Flannel?
Absolutely
You're
not.
back.
I'm not 100% back.
They're going to make the tournament, dude. I told you to chill yesterday. They're going to make the tournament. They're Michigan. They'll find a way.
Hey,
out.
quick question. Will you guys watch, flick on, make it a point, highlights of any of the All-Star game or festivities or whatever's going on this weekend?
No.
Hockey or football?
Sorry,
or-
D-Mac.
I
did not even
why
know.
Why are you sorry to me? I'm not.
Yeah, I did not even know that the Pro Bowl thing is 2 days and it started yesterday. I was stunned to hear that.
I drove by the stadium. It was cool.
Okay.
They had everything out there and
Yeah.
guys getting ready in Vegas.
I had no idea. Has anybody in this room watched any of it? Did anybody watch any of it? No one? You guys? Anybody? Nobody. No, but not one person.
Hey, right now, what's the line for the big game at?
Super Bowl?
Yeah.
What the Eagles are fluctuating between 1.5 and 2 point favorite.
This Friday, and then obviously we'll take your official one next Friday. But who do you have right now winning the Super Bowl today?
Today, if it were right now, I would probably lean Philadelphia.
Sam?
Who do you think? Chiefs, of course. They got Patrick Mahomes, the best
Well,
football player.
you know what? I could have assumed and put words in your mouth, but I wanted you to. I think right
Appreciate
now,
that.
I'm going Philly also.
All right.
Yeah, that's where I stand. Defensively, what they do. Defensively, what the Chiefs do.
There's a big issue that I think Patrick Mahomes, and obviously he proved to get through it, but there's a guy on the outside is so underrated that underneath the radar in Reddick.
Yeah.
Right? Outside linebacker Russian for Philly. That is the disruptor that if Mahomes can't get off his spot, I mean, they just do such a good job. I think it's going to be a great game.
I think it will be, too.
I think it's going to be a great game. I think this is one of these games that are looking forward to, and hopefully it plays up to it.
Steve Brown, WoodwardSports.com chat thread says, I saw dodgeball last night. Come to find out they were playing dodgeball, huh?
Wow.
That can't work, right? Somebody will turn it on once to see it, and you'll watch it for like a couple seconds, and then that's it.
The fall from grace of the
Well,
Pro
unless
Bowl.
they're throwing wrenches. You know, maybe they're throwing wrenches at each other. Turn it in.
Absolutely. Well, that'll wrap things up from here at Matrix Home Solution. We're out in Plymouth. I gotta talk to these guys.
We got through it though, boys.
We did it, buddy. Long week for you. I know.
Exactly.
Yeah, but we did do it. We'll be back at it on Monday, stronger than ever. Super Bowl week. We're gonna do all of it next week. We'll take a look at the props. You know, I love that kind of goofy
we're
stuff.
We're gonna have a nice props. I'm gonna do a deep dive into some of my favorite props.
We'll do a deep dive into the game, where we think, where we see, continue that discussion of the storyline. This is a defining game for Patrick Mahomes' legacy. It's going to go one of two directions after this week. So when you hear somebody talk about it, remember, Big D Energy had it first.
Absolutely.
For D-Mac, for Sam Flannel, for JB Smoove, all the Woodward Sports crew, and most importantly, everybody here at Matrix Home Solutions. See them on the web, matrixhomesolutions.com. Impressive work that you can look at for yourself. My name's Neal Rhul. Thanks for watching, everybody. Well, see you later.